Yeah, so look at this nonsense that was posted on TikTok. Hurricane Milton, you only have one job. Yeah, the coordinates for Mar-a-Lago. Yeah, so there was a Weather Modification Act in 1972, I believe. Yeah, because the Congress did hearings about cloud seeding, putting iodine. What was it? At one point, it was ice, dry ice, and then later doing it with silver iodine. And there were people back in those days it was the early 70s, but that were up in arms. I think it was in Florida or Georgia, because they said you did that. You are responsible for making the storm worse. The thing is, they can actually direct them, because supposedly the whole idea was that because you are given so much time to, when they know, because it's out in the Gulf, they know it's coming. And so every time I see one of these hurricane hunters or whoever they are going into these hurricanes, it's like, what are you really doing? Because it could be either or. It's either, because they have the technology to direct it away or direct it to a certain place. So instead, it's like, the hurricanes have only gotten worse as I've gotten older. So there's a time we didn't have so many bad hurricanes. There was a time this wasn't going on as much. But this is the problem with technology and science. And this is what people were upset about back in the early 70s, is that science, because they go and just do something, okay, and then that's that. So there's the good science that uses, like common sense and says, should we or shouldn't we do that? And then there's the people that let's just do it, to hell with everybody else, okay? And doing this all without even informing the people. Now we're at this place, this juncture where it's gotten so bad, and globalists have had all this control. Nobody trusts the media. There's no point in trusting the media. And yet, these storms have gotten worse. Yeah, because it's perfect for globalists. The people that carry on about climate change are changing the climate. And not for the better. Because again, a part of what the whole, there were people that were like, let's do research on the storms so maybe we can help direct it back out to sea. But instead, what you get is psychopaths. It's just, at this point, if you don't realize there's a lot more psychopaths in the world than you thought, that no, we want, and they don't, it's all about power and control. So there's truth to this. I'm not saying it should go to Mar-a-Lago, not at all. But there's people out there that know. And there's people that hate Donald Trump so much. The man's been 2 assassination attempts against him. Okay? He was the one that came out and told the American people about the globalists. Globalists is the same thing as communism, but on a global scale. And those people, they post this stuff. Because that's how much they're afraid of losing control over the people. Then you have the witches on The View, because they're a perfect example of being low character people, low quality, no moral compass. They don't even live in the land of morality at all. None, no morals at all. And they go to do the bidding for globalists like the mainstream media does. It's about dumbing down Americans. But you can look up the Weather Modification Act. TikTok took down a video I duetted that was all factual. They took it down in less than 5 minutes because it was a duet about the weather modification. And then the one that I reposted, well, I don't know. I don't think anybody has seen that one. So this is what globalists do. They're trying to control everybody. They want to keep Americans as stupid as possible. If you think that, look at the past, let's just say 30 years. Disease has gotten worse. There's more mental health crisis. Everything is worse. There's more viruses. Everything is worse. I don't think all scientists are bad, but certainly the ones that have been in charge just going off, doing whatever the hell they want, they have made things worse. And if technology and science are so great, then things should not be worse. They should be better. So we have weather that's worse, and then you have the people trying to change the climate running around saying climate change, and then you have their ridiculous followers that just buy into that bullshit because all they do is watch CNN and MSNBC. And so they keep them stupid. I mean, to be intelligent at this time in history means you're going to have to think for yourself. I know it's hard, but I'm being sarcastic. It's not hard. I mean, stop looking for somebody to tell you the truth here and put the puzzle pieces together. So this was back in, I think it was 2015. They say all these people died in the storm in Puerto Rico, yet 70% of the power was out before the storm. So when did the people start dying? At what point do you recognize that what they are doing is a political agenda couched in the nice language of journalism? And this is about weather modification, is the act of intentionally manipulating or altering the weather. The most common form of weather modification is cloud seeding, which increases rainfall or snowfall, usually for the purposes of increasing the local water supply. So there's some of these forms that, like I said, could be used for good. But if you look at the last, like I said, just 30 years, you can see that, no, it's everything from every sector has gotten worse. So the people that are in charge are trying to make things worse. Weather modification can also have the goal of preventing damaging weather, such as hail or hurricanes, from occurring, or of provoking damaging weather against an enemy as a tactic of military or economic warfare, like Operation Popeye, where clouds were seeded to prolong the monsoon in Vietnam. Weather modification in warfare has been banned by the United Nations, like that means anything, under the Environmental Modification Convention. Yeah. Do you trust anything the UN does? No. Not if you're smart, you don't. Okay? Because it's not like they're on the side of humanity. If they were, their history wouldn't be plagued with nothing but disaster every time they step into anything. So, it's a real thing. And since our government seems hell-bent because they're letting our country be invaded, they seem hell-bent on destroying America's country, our heritage, it shouldn't be hard to figure out that they'll go to any lengths. And their people, their followers, well, they're either mind-controlled, literally, because they won't do any research themselves, lazy, don't want to look into anything and look up things yourself, or they're just as criminal as the left and the socialists are.